Broadcasting to you on WNN 1470 AM and TrentoVision.tv from the world's leading think tank laboratory, buried deep in an undisclosed building in hostile territory where evil and corruption is exposed. You're about to enter the Tom Trento Show.
Yellow border, all in mega battle station.
Tom Trento heads United West, a group that says it defends Western civilization against the onslaught of Islam.
And you see all those battle things going on in our opening. Well, sadly on this Tuesday, 20 August 2013, there's activity going on all around the world. And we're here, National Security Radio, Tom Trento, WNN 1470, taking a look at Egypt, which is in complete chaos, though General al-Sisi is cracking down on the Muslim Brotherhood. Keep your eyes on this extremely volatile area. Travel a little bit north and to the west, and you're in Gaza, where, again, we're seeing missiles being fired from there into Israel. Go a bit further north, and Hezbollah is sharpening its sword and eyeing its arch enemy Israel. Go a little bit to the right of them, a little bit to the east. And we have Syria. Everybody's forgotten about the devastating civil war in Syria, where the Mujahideen are coming in from all around the world. Go down to Jordan, and King Hussein is wondering what's going to take place there. That's just the Middle East. But rest assured, folks, as the Middle East is in a near apocalyptic phase, we have our commander-in-chief.
Oh,
right
gosh,
there.
look at that.
On one leg. Go back to the one-leg golf picture. You tell me what commander-in-chief of what army in this world can golf like that with standing on one leg, holding his right leg up, holding a club. Look at the capabilities of our leader.
That looks like Mozart's goose-stepping.
It does. But thank God we have a commander-in-chief who, while Rome burns, while Egypt burns, while everything burns, he is living the life of luxury. He's back now, came back yesterday. But he lived the life of luxury. And yes, of course, he has such a hard job. He needs a little bit of R&R. He and his wife, they need to take 100 servants to another place to enjoy life. You dopes who voted for this guy, unbelievable.
How about you dopes who didn't vote against him?
That's even worse. And this time around, with 442 days, I'm a Christian. I'm gunning. Can you say gunning on the air?
Gunning.
Gunning.
As long as it doesn't end with
gunning
a G.
for
Yeah. Gunning. Coming after you Christians to mobilize you and to vote. Because I will make a very good argument that it's a sin not to vote in a democracy when you're entrusted with the privilege and the responsibility to participate in participatory government. We're coming after you, Christians. Get ready. We love you, though.
Yeah, we do.
Yes. But we need you. We need you to impact this
We need
world.
some help here.
Our show today is dealing with Ahmed Bedier Part 2. And it's a national security investigative report by the United West. CJ's here. CJ's here.
CJ's here.
There she is. And what day is it? Tuesday?
Tuesday.
We're on WNN 1470. We're on
The TeaPartyCommunity.com. We're on TrentoVision.tv. We're on Bare Naked Islam. We're everywhere. You can't escape us. If you miss us at 5 o'clock, you can go to youtube.com/TheUnitedWest and just pick any show from the archives and watch and listen on your smart device.
your pink device.
Or your blue device.
Or your blue device.
Look how coordinated we are. Look at that.
Cool. That works. That works.
Plaid.
Tune
plaid
into
pink. Plaid pink.
Pretty in pink.
Tune in to watchdogwire.com. Watchdogwire. Our good friend, Lieutenant Colonel, retired Rich Swire, rhymes with wire, right there, is the editor for Florida. A lot of the stuff that we talk about, we get through Rich's investigative work. 24 years in the U.S. Army, Vietnam War hero, couple of Bronze Stars. I seen them with my own eyes. And just an all-around good guy, Rich Swire.
We're going to be seeing him for 9/11, right?
9/11, yeah, I guess we can start telling. I'll be speaking in the near future, a couple of different places. Venice, Florida. Not Venice, California. Venice, Florida. 9/11, Gene Sweeney, we had him on the show. He put a memorial together for the 9/11 deceased and for many of the special operators who have subsequently died in this war on terror. I'm speaking that morning, 9/11, in Patriots Park in Venice. Come on out. And then we'll tell you some other places we'll be. We'll have our whole team there. We're leaving on the 30th, or actually probably the 29th of September, on our way to Israel. We're going to do the Eilat extension. We're going down to Eilat. We're going to try to bring you the show every day from Israel, from the hot spots of the global insanity that's going on in the comfort and safety and security of Israel, of Zion. Of what?
Al-Quds, Palestine.
Oh, no.
You guys are still
Can I
feeding that horse?
Can I punch his nose from here?
Yes.
Tom, I would like to bring in a little story that it combines your 9/11.
We're going to try to put this fan on because
Yeah. It keeps surging.
Yeah, you know, try it. Let's see what
Okay.
happens. Because the comfort of
I know, it was getting really bad.
Yes, we're setting it out here in the
not only do I smell her, but I'm smelling me.
That's not me, it's my hairspray.
It's hot back here with all these
Believe
lights.
me. Yeah.
Tom, I just wanted to bring in the 9/11.
Listen, we're not ready to be
Anniversary.
serious yet. Can you show a video for a minute?
I just wanted to
it's
tie
here.
9/11 and our subject for yesterday and today's shows together.
Okay. Okay, please
What
do
do you have?
then.
Yes, what do you have?
that one.
Yeah, I just needed a little help from
We're near heat
Marcy over
Directions,
here.
yeah, okay, that's the wrong
That's
one.
not it.
That's it.
That's it.
That's good. That's good. Muslim killed in 9/11 terror attacks.
Yeah. Your subject matter, Ahmed Bedier, wrote an article back in August of 2010, said, Muslims killed in the 9/11 terror attacks. Missing from the current national controversy over plans to build a Muslim community center in Lower Manhattan is the fact that Muslims were also killed in the World Trade Center attack. Islam and Muslims are not responsible and must not be held accountable for what happened on that tragic day.
What? Can you say that again?
This is an article written by Ahmed Bedier, the subject of yesterday and today's programs.
Right.
And first paragraph again. Missing from the current national controversy over plans to build a Muslim community center in Lower Manhattan, that is the Park 51 Imam
Right.
Faisal Rauf, is the fact that Muslims were also killed in the attacks. September 11th was not an attack by Islam against America. 9/11 was an attack by criminal terrorists against humanity. Islam and Muslims are not responsible and must not be held accountable for what happened on that tragic day.
Huh.
Okay, well that's some interesting. Those are some interesting words from our subject. As you know, yesterday we started a 2-part investigation, which may go to 3 parts. We'll see. Of Ahmed
Yeah,
Bedier.
we could do a whole show just on his quotes.
Yeah, and he is a public figure. He lives in the state of Florida. He was born and raised in Egypt, and was a fairly successful businessman. And then I think just before 9/11, or right around 9/11, he found Moses or Allah or Muhammad. He found somebody. He got religion.
At the Islamic Center.
He believes in all of them, by the way.
Yeah,
I thought, didn't he go to like high school in Oregon or something?
Yes, his family was out on the West Coast, and they settled. He came back and made his bones in Tampa, Florida, where he sits on the Human Rights Commission. A lot of these guys.
He's the president of the Human Rights
Is he the
Commission.
president
Yeah.
now? So he's our subject. Why is he important? Why is some guy, all right, Trento, why is this guy in Florida important? First of all, he's one of the leaders of the Muslim Brotherhood. He'll deny that.
Allegedly.
Yeah. He's one of the leaders of Muslims in the United States of America.
Factually.
Which is ripe ground, fertile ground for dawah, for the Islamic doctrine. He's a big believer and propagator of interfaith dialogue, and he was a CARE official. The reason why it's very important is it looks like he's been elevated to an international position that is directly involved with influencing President Obama on Muslim Brotherhood polity and policies. If that's true, which we believe it is, this affects everybody in the sound of our voice, on the radio side, on the TV side, on the internet side. Now, our job is to present information and evidence sufficient to make that hypothesis Ahmed Bedier is a secret agent man. We're not doing that song today. Ahmed Bedier is an agent of influence, formally for the Muslim Brotherhood, working for a foreign entity in the United States. So that's our hypothesis. We'll lay out information. Anything else that we need to take care of before we dive into the national security material
Well,
here?
I just wanted to give a little the prehistory about Ahmed Bedier.
I don't want to do that yet. Anything other than
Yeah, do the house cleaning stuff.
Yeah,
real quick.
housekeeping. WNN 1470 AM. You can download iHeartRadio to your smartphone and listen on iHeartRadio.
Okay.
You can watch on TrentoVision.tv. You can watch on the TeaPartyCommunity.com. You can click on the TrentoVision button when you're reading Bare Naked Islam. And you can visit us also at theunitedwest.org and click on that Donate Securely button
That's right.
so
Cool.
that Tom and the fabulous Bunker Boys can work in comfort.
Yeah,
Cheers.
comfort.
So we can line up two
So we
videos
can
at
keep
once.
the air conditioning on.
So we don't sweat all over the cameras. We are in Florida, a little stiff. All right. Anything else before we get rolling
Anything
here?
else
We've got a lot to
floating
do.
around?
13 minutes
Yeah.
after 5 o'clock on the 20th, Tuesday, August. Good to be here, folks. Tom Trento, the United West TrentoVision. We're going to put up an email we sent the other day to give you sort of a PowerPoint look visually at Ahmed Bedier. Then we're going to go through some data, some information. So this is a national security brief, but we're doing it in a we make jihad fun sort of way.
Yeah.
Okay, that's important.
Tongue in cheek.
Well, yeah, it's serious stuff, but
Do that against it. You got to close
No.
up now.
yeah, it's tongue in cheek. And just a quick update.
Nobody is ever going to hire me after this. Do you realize?
No, you're going to go for
It's
your.
a career-ending job.
You're gonna be on
It's
your
a career-ending job.
You're going to be on your third and final interview for this prestigious job, and the guy's going to go, "Is this you?
You
Tongue in cheek?
sticking your tongue out. And
Or you have a twin sister? We hope." All right, where we are on the upheaval in the Middle East.
It is evil.
It is evil, and what's necessary right now, just cutting to the chase in terms of the government, the moral and logical responsibility of this government. Forget about democracy. We were all firm believers in the aspirations of the human soul for that which we understand as Western democracy: justice, freedom, equality, free speech, the right to fail, the right to be left alone, the ownership of private property, all of these things.
Those were the days.
Those were the days.
Those were the days here.
That's what I'm talking about.
And 10
Yeah.
years of experiments in the Arab world, in the Islamic world, show that that form of democracy, do this, throw it away. Okay, it's done. It's useless.
gone.
Ain't gonna happen.
No.
Right now, national security over all the very ethereal concepts of freedom of man. National security. That means the Muslim Brotherhood, whom we've maintained all along, is a terrorist organization, as designated by at least one country. You know which country has already designated these guys?
Egypt?
No, the country that's
How about Israel?
the country that is like
Oh, a quiz.
yeah, it's the country that is just tweaking Obama.
Russia.
Yeah, Russia years ago declared the Brotherhood as
Oh,
being
yeah.
a terrorist organization. And we've maintained that, and we've been trying to find ways to do that. Right now, Egypt, which banned the Brotherhood from holding political office for 60 years, they're rethinking this and saying individual members of the Muslim Brotherhood are free to participate in voting in Egypt. But as an organization, they're seriously thinking about banning the Muslim Brotherhood again. That's exactly what needs to happen. Right now, the military in Egypt, and this is the Israeli view too, they want the military, their view, they said, look, you know, democracy is great. We live on the border of this country that's falling into chaos. Now, don't forget, folks, we're talking about Ahmed Bedier in the middle of Egypt pushing a brotherhood agenda. That's why we're doing this show.
Yeah.
Israel said, I agree. The military must take control, suppress the brotherhood, destroy the brotherhood. If they want to fight, they've got to use their military capabilities to destroy them. And it's going to be bloody and dirty and all of that. But this is the time to do that and establish security in the nation of Egypt so that any kind of process of civilized governance can take place. Can't have that by bringing the brotherhood in and letting them have one man, one vote, one time, and then Sharia law.
Literacy
Yeah. Well,
before democracy, please.
Actually, you don't really need the Brotherhood because the military that's in power now, it's going to write all the Brotherhood's goals into the Constitution anyway.
There ain't much
and what they
light
want
between the two. That's
yeah,
for
what
sure.
they wanted, they want the same thing. They want the Sharia. That's what the people vote for. To them, to the Arab Spring, the Arab mind, okay, that's what democracy is all about. You give them a chance to vote, and they vote for Sharia.
Yep.
So let them have it, I say. But we don't want it here, and that's what Bedier is all about, is to bring it here through his Muslim Brotherhood influence. So,
And from a global point of view, the Brotherhood was extending its Sharia-compliant reach into other areas and was using the support of President Obama and his administration. That's what our theory is. Bedier is assisting President Obama by being a mediator between the Brotherhood, and we showed some video supporting that thesis yesterday, between the Brotherhood and the Obama administration. So we got some serious stuff going on here. But notwithstanding the fact that the military in Egypt and General Fattah al-Sisi, who did a thesis in 2006 at the Army War College, where he says you can't have governance in Egypt without the Sharia. We can show you that. But his timetable is much longer than the Brotherhood's, which was to accelerate it. And a longer timetable in the very quickly paced world of these things. So much could change. So out of all the bad options, we opt
Right.
for the military
Right.
taking a totalitarian, strong hand. This is
Yeah.
the way things work in the Middle East.
yeah.
And securing all of the equipment that we've paid for and
Yeah.
securing Israel's southern border.
And what we have in the White House is we have the commander-in-chief is a supporter and a booster for the Muslim Brotherhood. And he's trying to make demands on the military in Egypt now that they need to comply and let the Muslim Brotherhood back in and let Morsi out, or we're not going to support Egypt.
Yep. Yeah,
So he
that's a
keeps-
bad move.
But
He
the
keeps
Saudis will
digging
pick
us
that
in.
tab up right away. The
Digging
Saudi
us
royals.
in, digging us in.
Well, and this whole thing about funding and all of that. It's really a mood issue. I mean, it's $1.5 billion, which is about $500,000 a day. I mean, it's not.
That's Obama's golf bill for a year.
It's not. It's not.
That's travel expenses for his dog.
But the problem is this: if we have no leverage whatsoever in this country right now, and
No, none.
Zippo.
so
Why give them anything at all?
I mean,
if we have no leverage, paying $1.5 billion, which is really
why are we paying $1.5 billion?
why are we doing that? So maybe it should be, look, General Assisi, our position is you take control of your country. We're taking the money away from you. You need to go take control of your country and get money and everything. We're going to watch and see which direction this goes. If you want, we'll assist you in helping rebuild your country, maybe. We'll think about that. But you're not going to get any money. You prove yourself first, then we'll see what we can do.
Yeah, and
So-
one
and
good
if you
way
get
to
mad at that, screw you.
Yeah, one good way to prove yourself is how about you protect the 10% of your population that is Christian?
Right.
Yeah, how about
Dozens
that?
and dozens of churches getting burned every single day,
Scores
and
and scores,
thousands
yeah.
of Egyptian Christians just slaughtered in the last couple of years.
Yeah,
How
but
about
he
you
came
protect
in-
your own citizens who are Christians?
He has come out and made a point over the weekend that he's promised to rebuild any of the Christian churches that have been destroyed from all the rioting.
Oh,
See,
okay.
it's interesting.
So we'll let it burn down. We'll let them get killed, and then after all that is done, we'll
just don't
come
like
in
anyone.
and rebuild it.
It's interesting. Watch this very
Last
quickly.
week I loved everybody, and you hated it. So this week I don't like
Let
anybody.
me get this out of my
They all
head.
see
This
you.
thing's floating around my head.
Okay.
Let me see if I can get it out. Then we'll move right into Bedier. The relationship between management and labor, if you will, or governance and citizenry. If the closer an individual is as a leader to the person they're leading, the more control they can have over that person. If I'm leading you, I can have quite a bit of control over you.
Especially if you're right
I'm
next to
leading
me.
3 people, now I've got to consider 3 different views and approaches to things, and I may have to mitigate my governing style.
It's a lot easier than 4 was.
If you're running a military, you're a general running a military, you have quite a bit of unanimity in how you can run it. Everybody's got to listen.
Pretty much
Now,
a
as Fattah al-Sisi, the general, is being elevated more as a leader of a nation than just the military, he's starting to have to mitigate and adapt to some of the political needs of the larger group of 85 million people, and he's becoming, if you will, more liberal, less totalitarian, and okay, we'll help the Christians. When he couldn't care about that stuff years ago.
Right.
And we have to kill the terrorists.
Right.
So it's interesting to see the demands put on him.
The evolution of the
He's been very
revolution.
More pragmatic.
Yep. Now,
Which is better than what Morsi did.
absolutely. And
Yeah.
somebody who's also a master of pragmatism is Ahmed Bedier. Let's put up this first piece of media for you to watch, you folks at home, and you listening will describe it for you. It is the email that's on my Facebook page. And the question is Florida's Ahmed Bedier an international Muslim Brotherhood agent? That's what we sent out, and we're getting it up for you.
Do you want the
Yeah.
CBS?
No, this is the email that's on my
Right, I
Facebook.
have the email up and it says watch this video. Is that the CBS?
No,
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 but it
video?
goes
I'm
all the
gonna
way
scroll.
down.
We're gonna just
yeah,
scroll
scroll
the-
down.
We're going to look at the video
Yeah.
a little later. But if you can put it on the screen, there's a logical process to this piece that you're going to look at in a second. Somewhere, somehow. All right, here we
There
go.
we are.
Question we're asking today, and that's Ahmed Bedier right there. That's in a CBS video we played yesterday. We'll play a little bit of it for you shortly. That's in the mosque last Thursday, the 15th August, where his dead brother is, and he actually shows CBS news reporters as he unveils his dead brother. We'll cue that up in a little bit. But in terms of the national security investigation we're doing, we're raising the question, is he a Muslim Brotherhood agent? Now, scroll down a little bit, and I'll read what that says right there. On Wednesday, August 14th, Amir Bedier, brother of Florida's Muslim leader Ahmed Bedier, was killed in the streets of Cairo, Egypt during a Muslim Brotherhood protest against the
should have had
Egyptian...
quotations around that.
Yeah, right. Against the Egyptian military coup which ousted President Morsi. Then we say, here's some questions and here's some facts. Could you read that next
Why
one?
would Ahmed Bedier appear on several international news shows to display the body of his deceased brother in a mosque in Egypt?
That's the first
that
question.
that was just creepy beyond anything.
Right. I mean, I wouldn't be showing my brother, I wouldn't, his death shroud to cameras.
Who would want
But
to...
You know
he's
what
selling a story is
Yeah.
what he's doing.
You know
he's
what I
selling
thought-
the story.
You know what I thought of when I first
Can
saw
you
that
cue
story
that little
was
piece up where he shows the head?
you
while we're
remember
talking?
that you remember that story that we covered a couple of weeks ago of the jihadis on Twitter showing pictures of smiling
Right.
smiling
Corpse.
dead jihadi
Smiling
corpses,
yeah.
as a recruitment tool for
Like
jihad.
they're with their 72
Yeah,
versions
yeah.
and they're happy.
Here, you too
that-
could be on the
that's what I
CBS
thought-
Evening News. If you
that's
want to
what
be a
I thought
jihadi,
of.
at least you'll
Yeah.
be famous for 4 seconds.
All right, but let's think this through for a minute. As analysts, you have an American, Ahmed Bedier, Egyptian born, raised in America. And he's over there supposedly for a wedding last week. His brother
Good
gets
timing.
killed.
Yeah.
He shows up in the mosque and he takes the CBS news crew around and shows the face of his dead brother. Now, you
Yeah.
could say he was traumatized.
See what I mean about the beard?
Yeah, no, it's perfectly trimmed.
Yeah.
You could say that Ahmed Bedier was traumatized emotionally and he wasn't thinking through. Now look at this, folks. Watch this. He pulls the shroud back and they actually have a close-up a little later. You could say he was traumatized and just did that and now probably regrets it. But we know Bedier well enough that he's always in control.
Oh, here it is.
He's been in so many difficult situations that he knew exactly what he was doing. So as analysts, we throw the question out to you. Watch this. Watch the camera go down. And that's got a little smile on his face, the brother.
Yeah.
He shows the dead brother. You know
72 virgins. He's smiling.
you know what was interesting?
You know?
CBS cut that out. They showed it for about a second, then they cut. He just left it. He didn't do this and close it real quickly.
No, he left,
left it
open.
open.
He left it open.
No, he.
But why? We got to.
Well,
Why?
it's that whole garnish the sympathy for him, garnish the martyrdom, garnish the public. Oh, it's that liberal left feeling. It's all about feelings. It's not about fact. It's all about emotion. And he's a master at manipulating emotion. And he can he can sell a story and sell a tear and everything like that.
Was this to an Arab audience?
No, this is
It was it's double because the smiling corpse, that's a call to jihad. Okay? But the Westerners who are going to look at this are not going to see it that way. They're going to see, the man in his grief, you lost your brother, like, oh, look what they did to my brother, so innocent. Therefore,
Can I give you an
you
explanation,
should,
please?
Therefore, you should hate
Yeah,
the
there's
people
a
who
picture
did
right
this
there.
to
Let
him.
me give you an explanation. In the Quran, it says, if you kill one Muslim, it is like killing all Muslims. Okay, it is like killing all of humanity. So
Okay.
what he is trying to do is say, look, you have killed this Muslim, my brother. He is basically trying to get very much support from any sympathizers internationally, especially focused to here in the United States. It was on an American broadcast. But as the Quran says, if you kill one Muslim, it is like killing all Muslims. And this is a way for him to enrage.
Now, I just want to show you
Okay.
kind of interesting.
Okay.
You look at this footage, and I've looked at it a couple times.
Yeah.
Ahmed Bedier is leading the news cameraman around. He is the one controlling this interview. It is not Scott Pelley.
This fits our theory, that
he
he's an agent.
Right.
Yeah.
A
Because don't
influencer.
forget, this mosque.
Watch the video of this. It's actually quite fascinating when you see him, how he actually leads him around.
Yeah.
See how Scott Pelley's.
Oh,
behind
he's
the back?
actually walking through
Yeah.
crowd.
And leading
See,
him to
and
different areas.
everybody's making space for him.
Mm-hmm.
And this mosque, that was like the Muslim Brotherhood headquarters in that part of town,
And
wasn't
he's
it?
just walking through it
And
freely.
he's just walking through it freely. How does he get in there and have access to it and the ability to move so freely within there unless he's one of them?
He doesn't come with a media badge. He doesn't come with it. He comes there as, as CARE representative, the Muslim Brotherhood arm of Florida. He's, like I said yesterday, this was such a staged event by the Muslim Brotherhood. You're going into the headquarters of the Muslim. It's like going.
The
into,
flavor of the report, like you said yesterday, was clearly slanted in favor of the Muslim Brotherhood.
That's
This
right.
is very far from a news reporting. This is a one-sided story.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All right, let's go back to the slides we have on the screen. Next statement is, during the 2011 Egyptian Revolution, Ahmed and his brother Amir were involved in the Muslim Brotherhood overthrow of President Mubarak. And we have here that he was shot. He wasn't shot in that uprising. He was shot last
year
December.
later,
Amir
yeah.
was shot December 2012. But we have pictures. And in fact, if you go to the slide, that one we're showing, we have a picture of Ahmed Bedier right there with his revolutionary buddies in 2011, standing in front of a tank in Tahrir Square. Then right underneath that, here's what it says on our, that one document, yeah. That says, when Ahmed Bedier returned from Egypt in 2011, after the overthrow of Hosni Mubarak, who, by the way, is being considered to be released by General Assisi's government now, Ahmed made 2 trips to the White House. At the same time, in 2011, President Obama was assisting the Muslim Brotherhood in taking over Egypt.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
I guess
He
that
is an agent of the Muslim Brotherhood.
Well-
It can't mean anything else.
Well, what I can see what the administration
And-
and don't think and look at it from a non-nefarious aspect for a second.
Okay.
Is President Obama's and he wants to get the most accurate update from wherever the violence is happening. So who does he call on? Well, he calls. If he believes that Abedin and all these other people, all the Muslim Brotherhood people he has surrounding him are, legit, then who does he call on? He says, well, I need someone who has had firsthand experience inside of Egypt. I need the firsthand accounting of what's going on in Egypt. Let me call someone who's actually been there and who I've had relationships before, and he speaks, he's a really nice guy. So he calls on Ahmed Bedier, who he knows is part of the whole Muslim Brotherhood network because they know each other. They said the Muslim Brotherhood says he's a good guy. Abedin says he's a good guy. All the other people say he's a good guy.
All the advisors
to
President
Obama say he's a good guy. So let's get someone there we know is a Muslim Brotherhood America from there to give us their interpretation of what's going on. And he comes up there and reports, it's a secular movement.
It's amazing.
It's a secular
Thank you,
movement.
James Clapper.
Plus, there's one thing that you guys are leaving out in this equation is that this guy, Bedier, is big time in politics in the state of Florida. And the state
And
of Florida is
expanded.
crucial for national elections. So he's good for
Good point.
at
Right.
least 100,000
And he's all
votes
over-
in the state of Florida, which, as we well know, can swing a presidential
swing it, yep.
election one way or the other.
And this
So-
is just before the election.
and
year
it
before
was
the
just
election.
before the
And
election.
I tell you, with personal experience, I've managed to rattle him once. He's
smooth,
not.
yeah.
He's smooth. Bedier is absolutely smooth. He looks great on camera. He has a nice delivery. He speaks perfect
Dresses
English.
wonderfully.
He got
Expresses
his-
perfectly. I mean, he is a
textbook.
He got his
secret agent.
He got his
Armani Jihadi.
PR practice as a spokesman for terrorist Sami Al-Arian and came right out of that and was warmly welcomed by the FBI as a partner building a bridge to the Muslim community. So why shouldn't he be smooth? Why shouldn't he be unrattled? He already won the battle before it started.
All right, go back to the flyer we have. And we want to know what his purpose was
disgusting.
in visiting the president, so scroll that up. Then there he is there. That's a nice little picture. That's him holding the victory flag in Tahrir Square in 2011. But before he was a revolutionary in Egypt, take a look at the next picture. There he is. He was, before involvement in 2 Egyptian revolutions. Do you believe that he was in 2 revolutions?
Of course.
Ahmed Bedier was a national leader with the Hamas front group CARE. He was the communications director for the state of Florida, and then he was very involved in organizing CARE on national events nationally. That was up until May of 2008. Do you remember what happened in May of 2008 in terms of our
Yes.
timeline?
Yeah. What
Yeah,
happened
we
was
sure do.
Indictment time.
Holy Land Foundation trial, and that's when not only did Bedier leave, our other friend up in the University of North Carolina left.
University of Northern Florida.
Northern Florida left, and everybody from CARE started leaving their rat sinking ship, if you will, and
They got tipped off that the FBI was
was
breaking
coming in.
off relations with CARE, so he quit CARE and founded United Voices for America as the front group for
Yep.
CARE, which
Yep.
is the front group for Hamas.
This is so
which is the
important.
front group for the Muslim
For
Brotherhood.
the Muslim Brotherhood. That's so important, folks. In 2000, from 2002 to 2008, Ahmed Bedier was involved in CARE, Council on American Islamic Relations. CARE was being taken down in the Holy Land trial, the Holy Land Foundation trial, and was going to be an unindicted co-conspirator. Guilty, there's evidence that you're bad, you've been conspiring, but we're not going to indict you yet. Well, during 2005, 6, 7, Bedier teamed up with some key FBI agents in the state of Florida. This is the way these guys work. And he was taking the FBI around, bringing them into mosques to receive sensitivity training by imams. What the hell was that all about?
Take your shoes off.
yeah.
Take
what
your
is-
shoes
yeah.
off, Kafir.
What do you guys think of the FBI, by the way, imam?
We do not. We tell our congregants, do not speak to FBI until you have lawyered up.
All right, Bedier
That
was...
is an American term we love so much.
Bedier was very friendly with several FBI agents. One was the head of special agent in charge of Jacksonville, whom we know personally, and the word was that when the trial was going to come down, the decision, and the FBI was going to cut ties with CARE, Bedier got a heads up and said, "You better get out of CARE." That's when he forms United Voices.
United
is a
Voices
front
for
group for his
America,
CARE
which is,
work.
yeah.
That's
which
when
is a front
Parvez
group for
Ahmed
Hamas.
left, and a whole bunch of them left. Yeah.
Yeah.
So in 2008,
That is a crazy assumption. That
So-
you could say a man
But
that leaves CARE and opens it's an entirely different organization. It says United Voices.
And United Voices for America was responsible for the first Muslim
Parade.
Capital
Parade.
Day in Tallahassee in 2009. Yeah,
You're right.
2009.
and we
yeah.
were up there.
And we were up there for that.
And-
All right, now,
well, let's not forget also where Ahmed Bedier came from, the Islamic Center of Pinellas County, who also spawned
Tampa. Was that Tampa?
Tampa,
Yeah.
who also spawned Sammy Al-Arian, the admitted
Well,
terrorist.
we're coming to that one.
Oh, okay.
Go back to the...
Read your emails.
Go back to the slide.
Scroll down a little bit, honey.
We're scrolling down. Okay, now
Scrolling. There we
we're
are.
giving you the last 10 years of his life. Bedier was also a spokesperson for terrorist Sami Al-Arian. Now, he'll deny he's a terrorist, but the facts are he
He pled guilty.
pled
pled
guilty.
guilty.
He pled guilty to terrorism charges.
Conspiracy to terrorism.
Yeah.
And there he is standing in front of a USA versus Al-Arian. And he was a spokesperson for Sami Al-Arian, a terrorist who said, yes, my work involved a component of violence that hurt and possibly killed people. Yes,
called
I
the
was
Palestinian
doing it.
Israeli
Islamic Jihad.
citizens.
Palestinian Islamic Jihad.
Yep. Now, come down a little more. Currently, we're giving you bits and pieces, dots, folks, to connect, to establish our hypothesis that Ahmed Bedier is an agent of influence, formally for the International Muslim Brotherhood, dispatched to influence this administration to continue supporting the Muslim Brotherhood globally and in the United States of America. That's our hypothesis. What he's doing now, the next slide, is what we've been speaking about. Currently, Bedier runs United Voices, which is his political organizing front group for Muslim Brotherhood policies. In this capacity, Bedier has tremendous influence, scroll down a little bit, over many U.S. politicians, including Democrat leadership in Florida. Who's he hanging out with there?
Senator Bill Nelson.
Yeah, we have two senators, Rubio and Nelson, and there is Bedier.
Can we get rid of both of them?
There is Bedier with Bill Nelson at a fundraiser. Now, Bedier raised money for Nelson. When Nelson found out that Bedier may have some shady connections, I believe he gave the money to a charity or gave it back or something. But I have seen Bedier with Nancy Pelosi, and he makes the rounds with all the
And he doesn't discriminate
we have a
either. He
little
cozies up to
1 minute
Republicans
clip to
too.
highlight what he does at the Muslim Day. If you want.
Well, let's continue with this first, and this sets the stage for all the work we do. Now, look at this right there.
Oh, yeah.
The critically important question for all Americans. You can scroll up a little bit so we get a nice full picture of where he is. Is Ahmed Bedier an agent for the Muslim Brotherhood? Anybody know where that picture of Bedier is?
Hajj.
For those of you driving in your
Mecca.
car, we have a picture of Ahmed Bedier standing in front of the Kaaba, the big black draped building in the middle of the mosque in Mecca during the Hajj. What's the Hajj?
Well, the Hajj is not necessarily ties into the Muslim Brotherhood, in my opinion, but it's just that he's a dedicated Muslim that has been to the Hajj, goes to the pillars, has done all the tenets of Islam and
Yeah,
whatnot.
that's one of the pillars of Islam.
The Hajj is
do
the
the
annual
Hajj.
pilgrimage to Mecca, required at least one time for all Muslims.
Yeah, have you been there?
Of course.
Of course.
Well, I mean, to stand in front of, to take this picture and put this, well, our secret spies procured this picture. You know how?
Yes.
Yeah, you went to his Facebook page.
We went to his Facebook page.
He has a lot of good images on his
I
Facebook
got a
page.
question.
Yeah, he's not shy at all.
This is what makes me
He
wonder.
looks like Angel.
I just thought of something. Is photography allowed inside?
I was surprised, but
So this has to be a prearranged thing for him to do this, because otherwise people will be taking pictures and pictures and pictures, and cameras be all over the place. I'm wondering
It's a
if
good question. I don't know.
you got to have some type of poll, I think, to get this picture done.
He looks like Angel Gabriel.
Otherwise, everybody would have it. I would think it'd be like standing in front of the Eiffel Tower.
All right, so yeah, that's a very good question. We got to check that out. But in terms of the investigative component of our show, again, we're hammering this home. If Ahmed Bedier has been dispatched by the Muslim Brotherhood to influence the United States government for a foreign entity, that's a violation of federal law, number one. But more importantly, this is subversive activity. And if that's what he is doing, he needs to be exposed. He needs to be arrested. He needs to be imprisoned if
Right.
all of this is true.
I have a question about this, because if it is illegal and if it is subversive, but if he was invited by the president to come and brief him on this issue, where does that stand? Does that make it not illegal what he's doing, or does that make what the president's doing illegal as well?
Good question.
Well, the whole case in point.
Is it an influence operation when you're invited to come and do it?
Right.
When
Obama is an influence operation.
yeah, it's a
Forget
new set of
Bedier. Let's
rules.
just talk about Obama
Yeah,
again.
it's a new set of rules. Probably, what he's doing is not illegal. He's in lockstep with President Obama to support an organization that should be a terrorist organization, And we, the people of the United States government, put Obama in there. We knew this. This is what the majority of people want. Now, maybe through our work and other good people doing work, they're going to say, this isn't what we really want, and change this. But if he were being funded, if Ahmed Bedier was actually receiving money from the Saudis with an intent of influencing, and he's not registered as a foreign lobbyist, that's illegal. So I'm sure he's so smooth and he's never been in trouble.
Yeah.
I'm sure he's
Let's just
doing it all legally.
If you don't mind, I'd like to do a quick recap of just all the major points, just the major, not his statements or not his actions.
Yeah, well, I want to do a whole show on just his quotes. Can we do that for Wednesday?
We can do that because that's damning in and of itself.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we're scratching the surface here.
He went to the Islamic Center of Pinellas County.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, a known bad mosque, produces terrorists all the time, and was founded by really bad people. He joins CARE, Council of American Islamic Relations, a known Muslim Brotherhood entity, and he goes, for that direction. Then he starts promoting Sharia, to stop Sharia law in the, in the Justice
Anti-ALAC.
Right. Then he appears in Egypt. He has a brother who is a terrorist, who is a jihadi terrorist, who is killed.
Freedom fighter.
After getting shot in the face in December.
Right, okay. And then he's standing in the middle of the Muslim Brotherhood headquarters in Cairo, where all the stuff is happening. And he is giving, obviously, by looking at his movements just in the Scott Pelley video on CBS, he has free access, free reign, and he's, lionized by many, many people in the Muslim Brotherhood. He's at the ISNA convention. He goes as a speaker there. He goes around and speaks of many, many care functions and many, many Muslim Brotherhood functions. I mean,
he's like the Muslim version of the most interesting man in the world.
Just that evidence alone is walk, talk, quack like a duck. Come on, this guy's walk, talk, quacking like a whole fleet of, a gaggle of ducks. And give me a break. I mean, if he is not a Muslim Brotherhood, there isn't anybody else that.
Okay.
Well, my question is this. Of course he's the Muslim Brotherhood.
Right.
The Muslim Brotherhood is welcome in the White House.
Right.
Anybody listening to this who's in the state of Florida, where we are, and we're saying we don't want this guy to influence politics in the state of Florida or nationally, why are they going to say, how come he can't be active in politics in Florida when the same group that he represents is welcomed as an ally of the White House? So how do we do that?
That's the 64th.
And now he's
and you're calling the Muslim Brotherhood a terrorist organization.
They are.
Okay, but let's just leave even the actual terrorist component out of it, where like
that's what Hezbollah likes to do.
Individual acts of terrorism against individuals. Let's just leave that out of it and look at who they are and what they want and what their goal is. Whether or not they actually
is our way, martyrdom is our goal.
Hello.
Death in the sake of Allah is our highest objective. I mean, that's their motto.
How could anybody in the United States get behind that? That's the complete opposite of everything this country stands
regardless
for.
Of Democrat or Republican,
regardless of what your party is, regardless of whatever God you believe in or don't believe in. This is the flip side of everything about your way of life.
I mean, if you're pro-homosexual,
there's nothing that isn't evil about their own stated goals. How do you look at that, at any individual from that organization, and say, here's a moderate guy with a political goal that I can get behind and work with?
He's a representative of the KKK.
That's what I don't understand.
It's
How could that have any legitimacy at all.
That's the mind-boggling question
I'm
that
being suffocated with Islamophobia. I can't breathe.
those of us who have been doing this work for many years, we say, how the hell did we get into this situation where we, the United States of America, is supporting, endorsing, embellishing, enhancing, helping develop the Muslim Brotherhood's global caliphate directive? How did that happen? Well, it really goes back to 2008 when Obama got elected, which, was okay. He got elected, a unique moment in history. First thing he does, where's the first trip he takes?
Cairo.
That was it. Well, that was, and we all said back then.
Yep.
We said, "Oh my God, he just raised the white flag
And
in Cairo."
He just
kicked
told
Israel
the
to the
entire.
curb.
He just told the entire world, "I'm one of you."
Yep. Yep.
And who did he invite in the front row to sit with him for his Cairo speech?
The
The
Muslim,
Muslim Brotherhood, which
Brotherhood.
was
All
still
the
banned
Muslim-
in Egypt
Wow.
at the time.
Right.
And that meant that the legitimate, because they were the legitimate government at the time, could not attend Obama's speech
do you-
because they couldn't be seen in the same platform with
Why
those
do you
guys.
think all the fires, everything broke out in the Middle East right after that speech? Why do you think Tunisia fell? Why do you think Egypt fell? Why do you think all these other things, are in flames? And why do you
Sure.
think some more countries are still to come that are going to fall in the Middle East?
fist fight. Who do you like, Obama or Mubarak?
I like Mubarak even
no-brainer.
after
85-year-old
jail.
Mubarak?
Yeah, even
I'll still
after
take 'em.
jail. Yeah.
Yeah,
Somehow I think Obama punches like this.
yeah, I know.
Yeah, this all goes back to President Obama. He has failed, folks. And for our Democrat friends out there, those of you who are just Marxists, doctrinaire Marxists, and you see the redistribution of rich people's money, even the eradication of private property. It's
But
like,
not your own, by the way.
But not your
Just
own, right?
everybody else's.
Everybody else.
For those of you, you're a lost cause. But for those Democrats who maybe are in the JFK kind of
Mode, yeah.
And also in the bubble of denial.
seriously, just look from a national security perspective. How can you look at President Obama? He's so detached from all of this right now, A, and he's so despised. I'll alliterate that for you, okay? Detached and despised. He's amazingly despised by the Arab world right now. Put that in your pipe and smoke it. This is a Muslim guy. He is technically a Muslim, though he's professed Christianity, though his Christianity is unfamiliar to me as a Christian. When your father's a Muslim, you are de facto a Muslim. You have heard him speak Arabic, and he said the muezzin, the call to
Right.
prayer in the morning is the what?
The most beautiful sound he ever heard.
I could just say that's the most beautiful sound if you ain't in that side of the ledger, if you're not on that side of the ledger. The point is, here's an individual with a strong Islamic background who is despised right now by Muslims. And as a result of his erratic understanding of the Islamic jihad mindset and his misunderstanding of American democracy and republicanism, he has made this world an infinitely more dangerous place than it's ever been. President Obama, his fault, at his feet, 100%.
Yeah.
Now, President Obama has invited Ahmed Bedier into the White House many, many, many times, and I'd like to give the audience, the listening audience and the viewing audience, a 1-minute clip of who Ahmed Bedier really is at Muslim Day.
Now set this up. Where is
This is a Muslim Day, Muslim Day, Tallahassee, Florida, 2012.
All right, now Muslim Day is what? Because not everybody knows what
Well,
Muslim Capital Day
is when the Muslims come over to lobby the state of Tallahassee.
So Ahmed Bedier takes 200-300 people to Tallahassee.
Mm-hmm.
He has meetings and teaching, and it's like
Prayer
it's like the Boy
sessions.
Scouts. It's like the Boy Scouts coming and having a nice time.
Except
right.
they've made it known and they've said on film that we are here to scare you.
Right.
They are there to pressure the
legislators.
legislature to not pass ALAC.
Because-
And last year, I guess when this was, we went up to participate in his program because it was on public property.
Right.
We signed up, we paid our way, and what happened?
And we We eventually got kicked out and thrown out, but we bullied our way back in, and we caught him saying these words on tape.
You fired your camera up, and your camera captured what we're going to see right now.
So, at the end of the day, we won. And those senators, those representatives learned a lesson. That if you're going to go after the Muslim community is going to go after you. And we're not going to stay quiet. We're not going to sit back. When you punch, we're going to punch you twice as hard. When you fight us, we're going to fight you twice, 3 times as hard, and we're not going to stop fighting politically until you're out of office, because we deserve better. And you saw all the people that are walking the hallways. Most of them are white, blonde, pretty, and with no substance. I'm telling you. So we don't want just pretty people walking around here. One thing that's missing in Tallahassee are minorities, not just Muslims. You hardly saw any black people in the hallways. You hardly saw any black people in office. You hardly saw any black people on staff. Most of the black people in this building are working in housekeeping in the cafeteria and maybe security. What does it say about what happens in Tallahassee?
Unbelievable. I've seen that 100 times. And he has the balls just to go say what he believes,
And the funny thing about it is he comes right after there and goes talk to Senator Charles Smith, a black congressman.
Well, what is his Weltanschauung, his worldview? What 3 or 4 points, CJ, would comprise his worldview?
Oh, how about Allah is our objective, the Quran is our law, the Prophet is our leader, jihad is our way, and death for the sake of Allah is the highest of our aspirations. Well, I guess his brother lived and died that way, and that's why he's so proud of him, and that's what he's trying to do in the United States. And that is the credo of the Muslim Brotherhood.
And you said something very, very important, CJ. His brother died for martyrdom, the highest of the objectives.
That's right.
And he is not going to go the other way anymore.
That's why I said. That's why I said.
He's got the 72 virgins himself because his brother died in jihad.
That's why I said when you asked, what do you think it means the way he's showing his brother? Who is that audience for? I said, well, it's for two. Because one is for the Islam audience.
We can do a whole documentary.
The jihad audience.
We can do a whole documentary on Ahmed. Do we have time to show the Wolf Blitzer piece where he talks about Israel and makes a little Freudian?
No, we don't.
We don't?
No, I don't know.
We'll have to do it tomorrow's show.
Okay, Wednesday, we will show that.
Well, we have to.
We have to. And we have to do the
some
quotes.
Of his policy stuff having to do with ALAC.
Okay.
And some of his other statements on Israel?
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean, we have to go back. Yeah, we have to go back like 10 years and pull the quotes and the connections with Palestinian Islamic Jihad and Sami al-Arian and the Gaza wars and Hamas.
He is a rock star in the Islamic world right now.
Yeah.
When he speaks next week, 2 weeks, in Washington, D.C. at the ISNA conference.
Yeah.
He is going to be standing ovations,
right.
Signing autographs.
Your brother died in jihad. He's getting the 72 virgins.
Here's a quick tease from his policy brief having to do with ALAC. Okay. Thomas Jefferson and George Washington and other framers incorporated some Islamic principles into the American Constitution. I'm not even finishing. That's a tease for tomorrow.
Stay tuned tomorrow and take a trip with us to Twinkle City.
Yes, where the grand potentate is Ahmed Bedier. All right, well, I think that wraps it up. Tom Trento on WNN 1470, the radio side of this communications extravaganza, and TrentoVision.tv. We'll see you all domani. Peace.
Thank you.
Coexist.